Welcome back. We have learned about the 10 characters. Now we use it on people. Well, we follow the book and apply the theory on soccer players. I use soccer players in my book because I know soccer. I watched more soccer games than other sports. So this is how I started. I compared the most popular player today, Leo Messi, with a player I like very much, Ariel Ortega. Both of them are short, fast, agile, known as the best dribbler in the world at their times. So as far as I think they are very similar. However, despite Ortega's struggle, his career was rather disappointing. I was disappointed. On the contrary, Messi always gets what he wants. So what's the difference between these two players? So this is Messi's life code and this is Ortega's. Indeed, they have a lot in common. Half of their six codes are exactly the same. This half. The self code and the codes near to the self code, next to the self codes. And the positions are the same. The difference is the other half. Messi has a good talent make money structure and Ortega has very strong comrade. So the entire other half of Ortega are comrade. And Messi has only one pirate to support the self code, and all the rest are talent makes money. So the difference is Ortega is much more stubborn, and it appears because we know Ortega is a stubborn person. So let's take a look at some typical technical players. Pelé, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff, and Ronaldinho. In soccer, the word best players refers to the best technical attackers. There are other kind of players such as defenders, goalkeepers, and strong attackers, but they're usually not remembered as the best players. These players above are known as the best player in soccer history. These best players, including Messi and Ortega I mentioned before, has one thing in common. Their duodecimal date code, which is this, the character that self code sit on, are all money. So Ronaldinho, check, Cruyff, money, Maradona, money, Pele, money, and so is Messi and Ortega. So if you think this is not enough to prove that money character is the key for great players, maybe the next example will convince you. Michael Jordan, he's special, so his life code must be special. What makes Michael Jordan so special? The answer is within his code. Jordan almost has the maximum money. In his five known positions, he has four money characters, and the other one is gourmet that supports money. Gourmet to support money, 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 money. Okay, why money? Money makes people bold, realistic, like to do, good with women, and skillful. Duodecimal date code, also called the spouse position, represents a person's inner world. The date column represents yourself, and the basal row represents the deeper level, the subconscious level. So this position represents who are you when you are totally by yourselves. It represents you in a deeper level. So each of these great players I mentioned has particular personalities, but deep down they're all craftsmen. Money represents technique, represents skill, so they are all craftsmen. Technique is what they like or obsess when they are totally alone. This is gambler means he is obsessed with technique, and this is collector means he like techniques. Technique is what they like. So generally speaking, anybody can master any techniques by practicing. However, dribbling is a little bit different than other soccer techniques such as shooting, tackle, run. All the other techniques has a clear standards of how to do, and you just need to focus on your part of job and pull out as much as you can. So you don't consider the other side too much. In soccer, you must use your foot. Controlling a ball is much more difficult than clearing it. So whether you can successfully dribble is not depend solely on you. It depends on the reaction of you and your defender. As I previously wrote, money character is a sense of advantage. Sense of advantage when you are facing other people, which is a real gift for dribblers. Whether you are cautious or comfortable when you are facing other people is a natural feeling. Like appetite preference, you can change consciously, you will never really change. So what that means? That means confidence is very important in order to dribble. And the confidence that brings by money is fixed inside of you. It is not bring by some morale speech. So which is why I mentioned appetite preference. That means you are born with that much confidence. So that gives you the ability to dribble. FC Barcelona, the football club, makes a great success in recent years. One of their secrets is all of their key players have talent or money structure. So all their players have the similar personalities, and the entire squad has a united character. So within the squad, there is actually one guy having the more impressive money structure than Leo Messi. He was born in this day. So he has gambler, and gourmet in the commander position to support these gamblers. And almost looks like Michael Jordan, isn't it? And fortunately, with the utmost money structure, this guy is Victor Baudis. He's trained as a goalkeeper, so seems to me it is a waste of potential. He's so technical. So let me give you an example outside the soccer area. Daigo Umihara is a Japanese arcade fighting video game player, often considered the best in the world. In case you don't know, he is considered the most successful player playing Street Fighter. So he has money in a column, and he sits on money, and his month column is Slaughter sit on Pirate. Not all video games are technical, but arcade fighting games definitely are. Because although there are some strategies involved, but our arcade fighting games are mostly about hand movement, so you have to be handy. In another word, technical. No doubt, Daigo is a technical person. He sits on a gambler, and he has two gamblers in a column. Moreover, he has a Slaughter sit on a Pirate in his monthly column, which made his a pretty badass person. After all, it's a fighting game. Daigo is famous not because he can win every game, but his impressive style, so he's technical and badass. Actually, he loses a lot, but people remember him because he plays so badass. So let's return to soccer. I previously concluded money represents technique. What happens if a player has no money character at all? That will be our David Beckham. He has judge, gourmet, and comrade. No money, right? This is the Beckham we know. Generally, he's well behaved, determined for the comrade, strong comrade, and hardworking and a team player. His spouse position is 9, same as Mark Zuckerberg. Indicates his wife has a long face. That has been proven because this position represents your wife. We know that Beckham's technique is solid. His free kick is one of the best in the world, and free kick is exactly the technique you can master by practicing alone. You don't need to consider your opponent. And fortunately, he has no money, he cannot dribble. And let's see another person, Neymar. Actually, I put down Neymar because he looks too much like Leo Messi. They both have a free talent to grow the money, talent makes money, and the pirate at the same position in the year column to support the self-code. Year column represents your young age. So you have favor here. That means because all the others are weakening, this is strengthening, this is the favor. You have favor in the year column. That means you will make a success in a very young age. That's what happened to Neymar and Messi. Neymar is another very popular player now. I've never seen him play because he never played in Europe. Well, I wrote this part long ago. Some say he is as good as Messi. Indeed, his code is very similar to Messi. The only difference, he has a good talent make money structure too, and pirate the same position. The only difference, he doesn't sit on money. So we see all the great technical player sit on money. So I guess he's an elegant player, but he's less decisive than Messi. If he play for Europe club, you may find him less of a striker and more of assist than Leo Messi. Before I finish the book, Neymar has transferred to FC Football Club Barcelona, so we can see if I am right. So let's move on to the next type. Patrick Vieira and Claude Makelele. Vieira and Makelele are considered the best defensive midfielders in the world, and they both from France. They actually appeared side by side on the field in 2006, making that tournament a nightmare of the technical attackers. So the features of Vieira and Makelele is they both have powerful pirate. Makelele has two pirate in a column and Vieira has two in a row. And both of them have pirate taking the command position. So command position is this. He has two in a row and two in a row, two in a column. So pirate is a natural enemy of money, just like Vieira and Makelele are a natural enemy of technical attackers. And actually it makes sense because pirate is ego is strength in an offensive way. If you're strong and aggressive, that makes sense. You are a good defender. One thing Leo Messi has in common with Pele and Diego Maradona is they all have pirate in their life goals. So let's go back. Pele has a pirate, and Diego Maradona has pirate, and Leo Messi has pirate. So they all have pirate in their life goal, and they are not defensive midfielders. Pirate is an ego code, ego character to be specific. It makes people aggressive, arbitrary, and likes to play the hero. Pirate creates strong defenders. It makes sense. And as for top dribblers like Pele, Maradona, and Messi, a little bit of pirate is something good to have too, because it will give them an arbitrary mindset which will increase their ability to dribble past defenders. It's like, yes, I am humiliating you, any problems? So if you are arbitrary, that will provide you another kind of confidence that increase your ability to dribble. But when attackers have two heavy pirate characters, should not be initialized here. They will become those soccer players that will never pass a ball, such like Romario and Ian Robin. We know they are great players, and this is how they play. They get the ball, dribble from their half of the pitch to the other half of the pitch by themselves, and take the shot by themselves. So Romario has pirate in the column, and the month column is stronger than the other columns. And Ian Robin has pirate in the column. And all his characters are strengthening characters, and that is specialty. His special thing about his personality. So could it be a coincidence that selfish players have a pirate in a column? Maybe, but even in basketball, strong pirate is a sign of leaving everything to me kind of player, such as Allen Iverson, two pirates in a column. Allen Iverson is a retired basketball player. He played this position and this position. In case you don't know who he is, his style is: I make the strategies, I do the important works. My teammates' job is to assist me. And Kobe Bryant, he doesn't have pirate in a column. He has money in a column and pirate, and he sits on pirate. So he's somewhere in between. Kobe Bryant's life code has strong money and pirate below the self code, so he's somewhere between Jordan and Iverson. In fact, we know Kobe indeed is a player more selfish than Jordan and less selfish than Iverson. In soccer, young players who like to dribble all the way, such as Robin or Mario, are often being trained as wing attackers because of the nature of soccer. So, wing attackers usually have a strong pirate. For example, Mark Overmars, that's a Dutch wing attacker. Two pirate in a column, Joaquin, two pirate in a column, Spanish wing attacker, and Irish wing attacker, Duff, two pirate in a column. And actually, so is Di Maria and Serginho. Okay, but let's move on. Talk about the similarity of players. Bet a lot of people wants to know about Billo and Shabby, great playmakers who play the similar style, and they are the similar, and nobody else are like them. So they must be unique and the very same. So Andre Billo, he has Ribble Gourmet. This for talent, and comrade to support the talent. Comrade will grow talent. And Shabby has gourmet, and comrade to grow this three gourmet, and he sees some money. Billo has three Ribbles, and Shabby has three gourmets, so it can be more obvious that talent is the signature character for this kind of deep lining playmakers. They both have a strong talent and neither authority nor shield. That's on the opposite of talent, to disturb their talent. And they both have comrade to strengthen them with stamina and provide and as a source of talent because comrade will support gourmets. So we see talent is the character, represent the ability to control the game, the Shabby Billo things, creating chance, and it makes sense. That's my theory of why talent would represents that kind of ability. And Guti, some say Guti, who play mostly for Real Madrid, is very similar to Shabby. From the life code, they are right. They are very similar indeed, personality-wise and play style-wise. If you have the same personality, you have the same play style. So gourmet, and comrade to support the gourmet. Are they the same? Yes. And all of them three has a self-code, a fire self-code. There's a reason, but too advanced to say now. And Andres Iniesta. Maybe you can see it this way. Money represents actual success. In soccer, it is goals. Talent is something grow and support money because talent supports money. So players with heavy talent are good at creating chance. That's why I say Neymar is less of a striker and more of assist than Leo Messi because he doesn't sit on money, he sits on talent. Neymar is actually more like Iniesta. Pretty good talent make money structure, but sit on talent instead of money. Whose style is somewhere between Billo's and Messi's. Talent and money. Xavi and Billo are a revolutionary product of the development of soccer because nobody played like them before them. Very few midfielders play like them before they appear. Let's compare their code with midfielders who are different. Like Nedved, he sees some money, but he has no talent. Frank Lampard, no talent. Michael Ballack, no talent. So as we can see, not all great midfielders are made by talent. Some of them have no talent at all, so they are less elegant and stylish, but they can still be very effective and practical in their own way. These are great players. So we'll move on to the next next type, Zinedine Zidane and Niklas Anelka. According to themselves, Zidane and Anelka are quiet, rather read a book than go out and party person. They are quiet because they have strong shield. Anelka has two shield in a column. Zidane has two shield in column and two talent in column and Slaughter. Shield, talent, Slaughter. They're all clever characters, but a mix of the same kind will make people discomposure, will make people disturbed. So Zidane always he's disturbed. He has lots of crap in his mind and he cannot sort it out. That kind of looking. Okay, and that's about Zidane. And let's move on. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Robin Van Persie, Mario Balotelli, and Antonio Cassano. They are the examples of bad boys. People say that Ibrahimovic has huge ego, which is wrong. To be, uh, it is correct if you don't want to be precise, but in a precise level, it is wrong, very wrong. Ibrahimovic has an arrogant, troublemaking personality. It is not caused by a huge ego, but a troublemaking structure. Rebel overcomes Judge. And the same goes with Robin Van Persie and Mario Balotelli. So let's see. Ibrahimovic a judge and rebel. Robin Van Persie a judge, authority in a column and rebel in a column. And Mario Balotelli, rebel and judge. Some may say that this rebel is too weak compared to the judge because there are three judges. But if you have some experience, you will see. Actually, Zlatan Ibrahimovic's life code consists with two parts. Judge, 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 the three judges united against rebel, the self-code, and the comrade. This is the principal part of him, and this is the anti-principal part of him. Because both of the principle and the anti-principle are strong in his mind, which is why he is so troublemaking because he's struggling between principle and anti-principle. So a rebel character like to mock other people and hate regulations. It is not a problem when there is no regulations. Judge brings regulations, so rebel and judge appear together. Its infamous structure indicates people who like to make troubles. That's the mechanism of rebel versus judge structure. Antonio Cassano is different. From his life code, he has bad temper because he has slaughter and slaughter and pirate in tombs, in hidden lines, actually. He has a heart problem because he has too much fire. We can even tell the acne scars on his face because strong fire attacks the weak metal. That will cause skin problem. So let's see. He has fire self-code, fire pirate. 8 contains fire, and the 11 is a fire too. Too much fire. Fire to overcome one single metal. So that will cause the heart problem and the skin problem. So, but he doesn't like the other 3 because he doesn't have rebel overcomes judge. Maybe his temper was too bad, made him looks like a troublemaker. Maybe his heart problem make him unable to control his emotion. So the 3 are not the same kind. These 4 are not the same kind. These 3 are the same kind. This one is a little bit different. So let's see what a real big ego player looks like. First, as a citizen of Edmonton, that's where I'm living, although I'm not a hockey fan, I feel like obligated to reveal the truth about this man. There are some technical features in Wayne Gretzky's life code, which is the talent grows the talent grows money. There's one talent supports one money, and the rest are comrade, comrade, comrade. The main character is comrade, which means he has tremendous amount of determination and conservative lifestyles. This is defensive. This is a defensive ego. He's even more stubborn than Ariel Ortega, but it doesn't stop him from being the greatest hockey player in history. So so hockey is might be different. In my opinion, hockey and soccer are different because hockey arenas are smaller and the pace are faster, and the player has to be wear equipment. For these natures of hockey, techniques and the team play and teamwork might be less important than the mental, physical attribute compared to soccer. But again, I don't watch hockey, so that's just a guess. And Bill Russell. Basketball legend Bill Russell has a similar life code with Wayne Gretzky, so they are the same kind of people. And he too has some technical feature, which is one talent grows one money, and the rest are comrade, comrade, comrade. Okay, so he has technique, but most famous for the big heart. He's not known for superb statistic numbers, but he can win games. That's what we know. Bill Russell played 10 decisive game sevens and won all of them. Bill Russell is not passionate, but definitely formidable because all his characters are same-sex reaction, so-called reactions without love. So all his goals are positive. In soccer field, Christian Vieri is the player who has a similar life code with Gretzky and Bill Russell. So these three people are the same kind. A little bit technical feature, talent, gross money, and comrade. Okay, let's see some let's see some soccer player with even bigger ego that doesn't even have this strength only. So such as Alexandro Del Piero, all his life code, all his characters, the known characters are strengthened. And same goes with Paulo Di Canio, all strengthened. And Mendieta, the Spanish guy, he has one, two, three, four. Well, no, one, two, three, four. Four shield. Shield represents mother. Shield as foe, that means mother in a bad way. So it reminds me the news. Something's about his mother that affect him in a bad way. So this is Carvenaggi. This is Argentina soccer player, all strengthened. Mohamed Zidane, that's Egyptian Zidane, all strengthened. And Philip Lahm, uh, he is very stubborn. Look, uh, pirate, that's all strength and a gourmet here. So Philip Lahm is more stubborn than you think. And Sebastian Veron, pirate, and comrade. So very strong personality. He must be the leader in the changing room. So apparently, as we know, big ego doesn't mean troublemaker for those examples. Although they might don't care other people's opinion. Comrades brings the biggest ego, but comrades people treat other people equally because they seek into themselves and they assume others to do the same. So comrade people are usually considered well-behaved celebrities because they respect and keep distance with people. Big ego players are usually either the down of the team means the leader of the team, or the outliner. That is why this kind of players should be very careful making the decisions of transfer, because it's hard to become the leader in a new environment with new teammates. Actually, you are new. So if you cannot become a leader, then they'll become the black sheep because they don't take orders. So actually, lots of them are examples of disaster transfers, bad transfers, such as Veron and oh yes, him. Well, people with one outstanding features are rare, and these people they don't have one outstanding feature. We just analyze them with their one outstanding features. We don't analyze. Uh, we ignore the rest, right? Most people are combines of several different features. For example, Juan Riquelme is a combine of big ego, which is a strength, and and a playmaker, and talent. Since half of him is talent, and half of him is strength, and strength will grow talent, which make him very unique. And Daniel Passarella. Passarella is a combine of two things. Half of him believe in individual heroism. That's the strength, comrade, pirate, and comrade. And the other half believe in teamwork, discipline stuff. That's judge and judge, or rooted judge. So it's hard to describe how these two opposites contribute coexist. How can you say somebody who's selfish and not selfish? But if you knew Passarella, you know exactly how. That's why we say uh, you don't describe blue. You just show them this is blue. And Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. This is grammar error, maybe, has big ego as well as pretty good money. He has a rooted money and rooted strength, so strong money and strong strength. However, he doesn't sit on money, so this position is not money. In his early career, he was trained as a dribbler. He has good technique, but his dribble was accused to be too fabulous but not practical. He became more successful by changing styles and become a powerful striker and the similar player to Cristiano Ronaldo, Ricardo Quaresma. He has strong money in a column, monthly column, but he doesn't sit on money. The Nielsen have a strong money in a column, doesn't sit on money. Robinho, money in a column, doesn't sit on money. So, Cristiano Ronaldo, the Nielsen, Robinho, Quaresma have heavy money, but they don't sit on money. Since the spouse position represents a person's personal inner world, and the basal characters represent your inner world, and this one represents your personal inner world. This means there's craftsmanship, that's the money within them. They can switch the mode, they have them in their body, but it is not deep down who they really are. People always blame them for showing off too much. However, from the life coach shows, they are showboats not because they like to show, but they have to. Although seen by us, their technique are not any lesser than the most successful technical players' technique who sit on money. But there's a difference. Those technical players are technical inside out. These players are not. Thus, their technique are actually not as good in a delicate scale. So let me give you an example. Two person, both good at painting, painted for 30 years. One of them liked to paint. Painting is what they like naturally. The other person, he rather do something else in his free time. So although seen by us, maybe we can tell who is better, but actually it must be the person who like to paint a little bit better, maybe not visible even. So which is why they have to use complex tricks when real technical players can use simple moves in order to dribble past the defenders. So Cristiano Ronaldo make a good decision to develop his strong side, the strong side, instead of the technical side, because he doesn't sit on money, and he made a success because of that. Actually, that's a problem solved. I didn't know that before I write down this part. I was researching as I was writing. So move on to the different type. Reno Gattuso has slaughter, and Pepe has slaughter. Marco Materazzi has slaughter. Neil Deron has slaughter. Here, Alan Smith has slaughter. These players are known for aggressiveness and they all have slaughter. Although I heard people say such as they are actually really gentle in their life. Violence is not who they are, it's only their job to be that way. So according to their life code, I have to say violence is not who they entirely are, but at least it is partially who they are. The slaughter part. A person sacrificed too much. Oh, this is about Alan Smith. I was just saying he's definitely technical because he sits on money. So it's a waste of potential to use him as a defensive midfielder. Yes, he is aggressive, but in the end, he's technical. If you put him in the defensive part, it's a waste. You will waste his potential. By the way, other than slaughter, owl is another sign of dirty player, and their dirty moves are more difficult to detect. Such players as Roy Keane, Mark Van Bommel, Christian Panuzzi, Olive Kahn, and basketball players such as John Stockton are examples. Actually, him, Al and Al here. And continuous slaughter. Slaughter represents a military personality. It's as we learned, it's a pressure on us. It has multiple ways of expression. Sometimes it appears as a discipline instead of aggressiveness. And Miloslav Klaus and Zaropto. Klaus and Zaroptos are famous for self-discipline. The slaughter, they both have strong slaughter. Slaughters up here and money to grow it, and the slaughters in the hidden line as root, and the slaughters in a column. So the slaughters push them into the limit in training. They train hard, and the gourmet make them enjoy what they do deep down. So they sit on gourmet. And thanks for the excellent professionalism, that's their similarity. They can maintain a high level performance even in their late 30s. And the Geminia. Geminia has very strong slaughter inside, so inside his heart he feels a lot of pressure. So this case is special. I know there's a reason Geminia. Geminia is a common nickname among a Brazilian soccer player, but you know who I'm talking about, that one. There's a reason he is so fabulous and irrational. I don't expect the reason is slaughter. The media, actually it's Chinese media, says because Chinese media just see the soccer ball words in a distance, so sometimes they have some wrong idea. The media says he just does whatever he wants because he's too proud, too artistic to care about win and losses. But in fact, he's not proud, but depressed. And the reason he's overly fabulous is, according to his life code, like I wrote before, people want to be the joker in a group because they feel depressed and weak. When authority and strengthening character contradict each other, they act weird. Because authority makes fun out of himself, and strengthening character is showing off himself. Germania has very strong slaughter, and we haven't learned about the fortune line, but I'll say it right here. He's most of his career he was in a slaughter sit-on pirate fortune, which made the conflict even more intense. So when people think he's showing off his technique, he's just clowning around. This is a mystery solved. Why is he behave like that? Not because he's proud or artistic, because he is depressed and a joker. And talking about slaughter, oh, next group of people. So we have finished with a soccer player, and I'm not going to continue. I can go on and on. The next group is a boxer, and then is actor and serial killers. But I think I made my point already, which is, although profiling people, the 10 character, is not fortune telling, is part of fortune telling, is a step. But this part alone is very useful, is very valuable. So imagine I am a football manager or an HR, human resource. What can I do? I'll be invincible because I'm opening the cheating mode. I know who is going to be a star right then. Be, I know who is going to be a star, who is going to be normal, who is special, who is being misused, and who is thinking what. So it's very, very powerful. So I'm glad if you want to proceed to learn some more. But the material I put down on the YouTube alone will help you a lot. And it's not a bad idea to just learn this part because bad student can rise their score from 0 to 60 in a week, and good student might rise their score from 80 to 90 in a year. So bad student is actually more efficient than good student. So if you just learn this part, it doesn't take you much time, and it will be very helpful. But if you want to further communicate with me, if you want to talk to me, you are welcome. But that's it for today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.